In the middle of execution, a client asks, "Why did we choose this stone?" In the middle of execution, right? And the project lead says, "I think it was the finish." Designer says, "No, no, no, it wasn't the finish. There was a better stone, but I think it was the budget ultimate." Procurement, they'll have their own version about maybe something available, something not available. And now the question is no longer what stone was chosen. It's become, does the organization, the project team, anybody, they remember why? The client now suddenly wants to reopen the discussion, and procurement, bless their hearts, they end up proposing an alternative, and you're sitting over there thinking, alternative to what? Again, why was this option chosen? What was it better than others? What were the parameters? And you spend time reconstructing a decision that was already taken. This this is debt. This is decision debt, and you're paying for it through wasted time and rework. See, in a small firm, memory works perfectly. You were in the meeting, you heard the client, you remember the context, you remember the trade off, but growth destroys that assumption. You cannot be in every room. There are more projects, more stakeholders, more employees, more locations, many more decisions. The organization suddenly is paying for old decisions again and again in terms of time, because somebody is going to ask the same question again. Somebody is going to be working with an outdated assumption, and a client is going to reopen an issue because the rationale was never really recorded. The cost is now rework, delay, and of course, loss of confidence. For important decisions, the best way to proceed if you want to scale is to capture five things. One, what was decided? Two, why? Three, who approved it? Four, when? These four are standard, almost everyone does it. The last one is, what does it affect? And this is the one that most people tend to miss. A decision, you have to remember, is rarely isolated. Change a material and procurement is going to change. Change a layout and services will change. Change a deadline and sequencing is going to change. You have to make one rule. If a decision materially affects a project, it cannot exist as purely a private message or in somebody's memory, because these things have a half life. People are going to forget, people are going to leave, messages are going to get buried. Projects have to outlive short term conversations and WhatsApp threads. So important decisions need to live where the organization can retrieve them, search for them, find them. Because when a client says we never agreed to that, then there has to be a system of record. In a weak system, a team is going to search for what, 6 months on WhatsApp messages? In a strong system, the project record is going to show the option presented, the approval, the date, the impact that was explained. The conversations would change immediately in such scenarios because you're no longer arguing about memory. You're working from organizational evidence. Thing is that a growing firm doesn't just have more work, it has more decisions within each piece of work. If these decisions disappear into conversation, firm is going to accumulate this kind of time debt, this kind of decision debt. And like most other forms of organizational debt, it becomes more expensive to clear the more the organization grows.